I never thought a single sentence could change the course of my life, or perhaps the course of human history. But then again, I had never met anyone like her before. My name is Captain Elias Cade, a deep space surveyor for the Terran expansion fleet. Most of my job involves dull cataloging of planets, scanning atmospheres, and sending data packages back to Earth. 99% of planets are dead rocks or gas giants. But Nerion 6 was different. From orbit, it looked almost like Earth. Blue oceans, emerald landmasses, and swirls of white cloud. Scanners confirmed oxygen-rich air, Earth-like gravity, and an abundance of flora. What the scanners didn't predict, however, was the existence of intelligent life. I landed my shuttle near a vast crystalline forest, its towering spires refracting sunlight like prisms. While taking samples, I saw movement in the distance. First, I thought it was a trick of the light. But then she stepped out from behind a crystal pillar. She was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Tall, graceful, with skin that shimmered faintly like polished silver under the twin suns. Her eyes glowed faintly cyan, as if illuminated from within, and a cascade of luminescent strands, hair I assumed, framed her elongated face. She wore no visible clothing, only bands of geometric patterns that seemed woven directly into her skin. My training told me to stay calm, make no sudden movements, and initiate first contact protocols. But training goes out the window when you're confronted with something that looks both alien and astonishingly beautiful. She regarded me silently, head tilted, expression unreadable. I swallowed, raised a hand in what I hoped was a universal gesture of peace, and said the first words of the Terran greeting. "Hello. My name is Elias." Her lips parted, and in a voice both melodic and strangely resonant, she replied, not in her language but in mine. "I know." I nearly dropped my scanner. Somehow she spoke English. Or something so close to it that my translator didn't even need to intervene. And that was the moment I made the mistake. Without thinking, without pausing to consider cultural taboos or diplomatic implications, the words just spilled out. "Your body is incredible." Middle. The alien woman's response. The silence that followed was excruciating. My heart pounded and I cursed myself. Complimenting an alien's body. What if I had just insulted her? What if physical commentary was considered warlike aggression? But she didn't attack. Instead, her cyan eyes widened slightly. The air seemed to vibrate with a subtle hum, and then she laughed. It wasn't mocking or cruel. It was like listening to wind chimes struck by a summer breeze. Soft, cascading notes that filled the crystalline forest. "You see my shell," she said finally, "but you do not yet understand it." She stepped closer and my breath caught. Her body shimmered like liquid metal shifting under light, as though her form wasn't fixed but chosen. "You are the first of your kind I have seen," she continued. "Yet your words, they stir resonance within me." Her phrasing was peculiar, but I realized she was telling me that my awkward compliment had meaning to her, that somehow, against all odds, it translated across species. Gathering my courage, I asked, "Who are you?" "I am Leora," she said. "My people dwell in the resonant plains beyond the seas. We are attuned to the threads that bind thought and matter. To you, perhaps I seem physical, but we are more energy shaped by will." And blinked. "You mean, you can change your appearance?" She tilted her head again, amused. "Appearance is a choice. We mold our forms as you mold words. You complimented what I wear, but not what I am." Her body rippled again, subtly. For a heartbeat, she seemed taller, her luminous hair extending like tendrils of light, then returned to the silver-skinned woman I first saw. It was mesmerizing. I tried to recover from my blunder. Then let me correct myself. You are extraordinary. Her glowing eyes softened. Better. Shared knowledge. Over the following days, I met Leora repeatedly. She seemed endlessly curious about me, my ship, and the idea of humans. Beings locked into one shape, one body, bound by biology instead of choice. She showed me wonders of Narion's 6. Floating gardens suspended on magnetic fields, rivers that sang harmonics when the wind passed over them, creatures with wings like sails of glass. But nothing compared to the conversations we shared. Her people, the Eliari, didn't see themselves as individuals in the way humans did. They considered themselves notes in a grand symphony of existence. Each had their own resonance, but together they formed chords of meaning. When I asked why she spoke to me alone, she gave an answer that unsettled me. Because you struck a note none of my kin have ever heard. You called attention not to the song, but to the instrument. No outsider has ever done this. I frowned. Was that bad? Not bad, she said softly. Unfamiliar. Dangerous. But perhaps necessary. The more I listened, the more I realized her people existed in a balance I could barely comprehend. They shifted forms, shared thoughts through resonance, and saw their world not as resources to exploit but as living chords in their cosmic music. And yet, despite this profound philosophy, she always returned to the moment I had first spoken. Elias, she said one evening beneath the twin suns' fading light, why did you comment on my body? I hesitated. Honestly. 'Cause it was the first thing I noticed. Where I come from, compliments about beauty are normal. But with you it felt more than that. I meant it as awe, not just attraction. Her cyan eyes searched mine. On my world, to compliment the shell is to invite intimacy. Few dare such words without intent. My heart skipped. And how do you feel about that? She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she reached out, her fingers grazing my arm. The touch sent a vibration through my skin like a soft electrical current, not painful but deeply resonant, almost musical. I feel, she whispered, that you are unlike the others of your kind. And that frightens me. Conflict and revelation. It wasn't long before I met the rest of the Eliari. They emerged from the crystalline forests in forms both humanoid and abstract, some tall and slender like Leora, others fluid, barely distinguishable as bodies. Their voices blended into harmonic chords as they spoke in unison. Leora stood beside me, but I could feel tension in her posture. The chorus addressed me. Human. Your presence stirs discord. Your words to one of us ripple through all. Why should we allow you here? I stepped forward trying to stay calm. I came as an explorer, not a conqueror. I meant no harm. One of them shifted shape, its body rippling into sharp crystalline spikes. Yet you altered her resonance with careless words. Our harmony trembles. I realized then just how deeply my mistake had gone. Complimenting Leora's body wasn't just personal. It had echoed through their collective consciousness. Before I could reply, Leora raised her voice, strong and clear. He did not wound me. He awakened me. The Eliari chorus rippled with dissonant tones. Awakened. Yes, Leora said. We exist in forms of chosen resonance. But never have I considered myself through the eyes of another so bound to one shape. His words showed me I am not only part of the symphony, I am also myself.